Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It's almost midnight of the day of the big victory, 38-3 over the Patriots, giving Bill Belichick his worst loss as a head coach. But before I dive into my knee-jerk reaction post-game, if you have not subscribed, you're watching the show. It is free. I implore you, hit the red subscribe button. I'm at like 350 right now. First goal is to get to 500, then 1,000. When I reach 1,000, this channel will explode. I'll be able to put back into it, get a microphone, studio equipment, sound bites, a desktop just for this, for film and graphics, and a call-in line, just like Law Nation has. Love calling in on his show. This show will grow to a show that y'all will enjoy and look forward to watching. But I cannot grow without y'all support, guys. This seems to work for Mike Fisher. So on the count of three, guys, if y'all have not subscribed, let's hit that subscribe button. 1, 2, 3, boom. If you did it, you're a real one, and I love you for it. Like Fish says, this helps me. The algorithms basically get your video viewed more. On the count of three, guys, if we can hit that like button in unison. 1, 2, 3, like. If you did it, you're a real one. I love you for it. Last thing before I jump into this, I see a lot of smaller content creators that can edit. Just have the Cash App name on the bottom of the screen. It'll be in my chat. Please donate. Any proceeds will go directly to building this channel. Right now, it's just my Galaxy and I. After week 18 against Washington, the top donator will get playoff tickets. Maximum 3 persons, 50-yard line, medium deck. Second place will get 2 jerseys of their choice, any kind, any custom away, home, Nike Rush, whatever, customized. And third place will get a Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card, possibly autographed by that time. If donations are better than expected during the season, then prices 2 and 3 will be bigger. My Cash App name will be in the chat. So if you do donate, let me know that it was you and how much, so I can keep my log accurate. Now, with no further ado, last week we go to the desert, lay an egg. I think maybe the team was feeling real bad with Trayvon going down for the season in practice, not having Tyron Smith, B-Dash, or Zach Martin on the offensive line. A lot of 3-4 letter networks were picking the Patriots to gash us with a run today and beat us possibly. Anybody who was picking us to win was picking us to win by like 3 to 7 points tops. 38-3. Now we've started 3-1 the last 2 seasons, right? 2021, 3-1 last year, 3-1. But our 3 wins have never been as dominant as our 3 wins have been. 40-0, 30-10, 38-3. We had a blip against Arizona. I think a lot of emotions had to go into that. But that's in the past. Today we dismantled a pretty good Patriots team that really should have beat Philly in week 1. Held the Dolphins to 24 points in week 2. Lost by 7, 17-24. Got the first win of the week last week. First win of the season last week against the Jets, 15-10. It was number 1. It was the number 6 overall ranked defense. So, take away the 2 touchdowns our defense scored. That'll make 24 offensive points. That's okay against a good defense. Just like we scored 30 against the Jets defense. We scored 24 points on offense against this top defense. Now, next week, we're going against a top 3 defense. Red zone woes. The first touchdown that we had to CeeDee Lamb. I thought that was a red zone touchdown. But apparently we were just like an inch outside the 20. It It was 3rd and goal from the 1.5-yard line. And I'm thinking, Dak Prescott up the middle, 238-pound quarterback, do it. And they don't. They get cute with a handoff. Pollard thinks it's going left. Dak thinks it's going right. They run into each other. Stupid. Maybe they're waiting for next week or the big games for their certain red zone packages and plays for Dak to use his legs. Because nobody seems to expect it right now because he hasn't done it. I mean, inside the 10, we could have RPO City with Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn. One really speedy, shifty back, and one just jitterbug back. And then big old Dak, who can keep it if he's got a lane to run through. And Dak can break tackles. He can run over a linebacker. We got a red zone touchdown late in the game by 40-ounce Hunter Lupicki. I'd like to see more of him, especially inside the 5. He's got more size than any of our backs. He's not slow by any means. He's got a lot of power. He's 230 pounds. Rico Dowdle hurt his hip during the game. The x-rays are negative. He'll get an MRI tomorrow. That's why we saw Deuce Vaughn in pass protection, which I thought was a joke. That's when Dak got sacked twice. But it's kind of funny how before the season Micah Parsons was going back to the 2000 Ravens defense and saying if the other team can't score, they can't win. That squad in 2000 for the Ravens, in a 16-game season, they allowed 165 points, 10 points a game. In our first 4 games of the season, we've allowed 0, 10, 28, and 3, 41 points, averaging 10 points a game. Not saying that's sustainable throughout the whole season, especially when we're about to go up against a top-flight offense. 2 top-flight offenses back-to-back, actually. We shut down Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones. Now we're going up against Brock Purdy next Sunday night. They got weapons. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, 2 great wideouts. The second best tight end in the game. Christian McCaffrey. And the other running back they have who's pretty good. Now we held that offense to 19 in the playoffs last year. I think our defense could do very well against them. I think the Arizona game was a blip. I told y'all whenever Trayvon Diggs went down for the season, watch out for DeRon Bland because he'll take this opportunity, take advantage of it, and run with it. And today, did DeRon Bland not look like shades of 7? He looked like Trayvon Diggs out there on that field, getting a pick 6 and jumping another one. Every week he's going to get better on the outside, opposite Gilmore. Now, when Diggs was healthy, I believe that Diggs and Gilmore were the best duo, cornerback duo in football. Diggs gets hurt. Now Bland is in. Bland continues to ascend. By the bye week, after the San Fran and Charger game, I think Bland and Gilmore will be a top 5 duo. I think DeRon Bland is that good. People just don't know. The game before against Arizona, DeRon Bland allowed 2 catches for like 37 yards, something like that. And today, he just balled out. Balled out. And they only threw to Gilmore's side like twice. So Gilmore bounced back from a bad game against Arizona. Arizona gave the Niners fits till late in the 4th quarter. Washington took Philadelphia to overtime. Philly is very beatable. Philly has a bad defense. Washington put up 31 on that defense. every team Philly has played, the opposing offense has put up points, numbers. Our offense is getting better by the week. In between the 20s, we are unstoppable. We get this red zone problem fixed. Whether it's, Hendershot, no, Schoonmaker on the first drive dropped a touchdown pass. In his hands, he dropped it. Second round pick tight end. This kid better get his act together. He's at pick 58. We expect more from him. I wanted O'Cyrus Torrence at pick 58 when he was still on the board and fell to us. When a lot of people had him graded as a top guard in the draft, I was like, okay, I thought it was a no-brainer. Because you draft him, then our offensive line is rebuilt for all intents and purposes. Zach Martin would be the elder statesman at 32. Everybody else would be 25 and younger. Tyler Smith be left tackle. O'Cyrus Torrence left guard. Dash, who we might retain on a contract year, made the Pro Bowl last year. Terrence Steele, still recovering from that, torn ACL, getting better by the game. But we just demolished the Patriots in every facet of the game. Michael Gallup is back. We can say that for sure now. Last week, he had like 94 yards receiving. This week, he showed out again. He is back. Brandon Cooks is being underutilized. We brought him over in the trade because of his speed. We haven't had a top speed receiver that's good in 20 years since Joey Galloway. He still runs a 4.3. We have not had one deep ball to Cooks yet. I know it's a West Coast style offense, but take a shot to Cooks twice a game at least. If it's one-on-one coverage he's got, throw to him deep. I want to see that rainbow pass where it's dropped in the bucket, 75-yard touchdown pass to Cooks. Get him involved. Now, Michael Gallup is looking like the number 2 receiver. Cooks like the number 3, which, that's fine. You can't have a better number 3 receiver than Brandon Cooks. And Jalen Tolbert in year 2 is starting to look like the guy we thought he was going to be last year. And he's playing football. Because on special teams, you saw that punt as a gunner. He went out and took that punt returner down 2 yards behind where he caught the football from. Jalen Tolbert is coming into his own. Our tight end, Jason Ferguson, is the next Travis Kelce. By next season, he will be an elite tight end. I think he'll make the Pro Bowl this year. Travis Kelce, Ferguson can catch the ball very well, and his yards after catch is just beautiful. He can break tackles left and right. He is so dangerous after the catch. Schoonmaker or Hendershot is like 2A and 2B. I trust Hendershot more than Schoonmaker right now. Hopefully by midseason, Schoonmaker is doing something. Whether it's full-time blocking tight end or whatever, I don't know. But he needs to make a bigger contribution. We held Patriots at 3 points. So three out of the first 4 games, we pitched a shutout. We hold the Jets at 10. We hold Patriots at 3. It's pretty good. Now next week against San Fran, we have a chance for the first time since the 21 playoff loss to have our 5 starting linemen play together. If Tyron Smith is a go next week, which I think he might be, because he was ruled out early this week. He didn't play against Arizona. He didn't play this week because he tweaked his knee last Saturday. If Tyron Smith is ready to go against San Fran, and you notice that they kept Tyler at left guard today and had Chuma at left tackle with Matthew Judon and Uchi out there, pretty risky. Oh, Chuma did, all right. But if we go into the Bay Area with Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Bia Dash, Martin, and Steele, that is a hell of a starting five right there. And that starting five can match up against that D line of San Fran with Joey Bosa, Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw and company, and Drake Jackson, I believe, young guy who's coming on. Philly and San Fran are 4-0. We're 3-1. That Arizona loss, I just hope it doesn't come back to haunt us, because it's also a conference loss. If we were going to lose, I'd rather be against an AFC opponent. But we showed again today what we can do. The Patriots are no pushover team. They're not. They hung in there with the Eagles. Should have beat them. Hung in there with Miami, who is no joke. They got beat down today, yes, but Miami's tough. And against the Jets, it was a defensive battle. We blew the doors off them. Won by 35. So our margins of victory were 40, 20, and 35. Pretty damn good. So we're 3-1, going to the 4-0 Niners next Sunday night. This game is so important seeding-wise, because being that they already have a game up on us, if we are to lose to San Fran, they have a 2.5 game lead on us, because they'll be 2 games better in the standings, plus they'll have the head-to-head tiebreaker. Say we win the division and we both finish 13-4. They have that head-to-head tiebreaker. That's why it is imperative we go into that stadium and we will be motivated. Mike McCarthy ain't got to say anything. Micah Parsons will do all the talking, because he said when they walked off the Bay Area last January, the pain they felt, they did not want to feel it again, and they got it in their minds. If they can't score, they can't win. So I'm very excited to see what this defense does against this San Fran offense. Can they hold them to 17 or less? I believe so. Can our offense move the ball up and down the field? D'Amico Ryans is not there anymore. You see him as head coach for Houston. They played well week 1 against Baltimore. Week 2 kind of got beat up. Week 3 beat Jacksonville by 17. Today beat Pittsburgh by 24. If I was San Fran, I would have given D'Amico Ryans head coach money ×2 to stay for one more season. Because this is their Super Bowl year also. But they let him go. Let him walk. They probably didn't really have much say in it, because D'Amico Ryans is a former Texan all-pro linebacker. So being that Ryans is not the defensive coordinator anymore, I think our offense will have more success. And our offense is looking very crisp. Every game is getting better. They're adjusting to a new system. The Texas Coast offense. It's a new system. They're adjusting to it. Going into the game, Dak's passes are averaging 5.6 through the air. That's second lowest to Richardson, quarterback for the Colts. But if we can get Ty Smith back for this game, have our starting 5, I believe we'll be able to run the ball good enough. I mean, we're not going to gash them, but run the ball good enough to set up the play action. And their corners are not good enough to hang with our receivers. So in pass blocking, with Ty Smith at left tackle, pray to God that he plays, and Terrence Steele at right tackle, and our guards, Tyler Smith and Zach Martin, which is probably the best pair of guards in the league when they're playing together, and B-Dash. Pass protection, if they can give Dak time, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, Jason Ferguson can get open, or Jalen Tolbert. Dak can beat San Fran through the air. Big time. Uh, we're already looking forward to that game now. 3-1. I mean, that's why the Arizona loss sucks really bad. Because if we were both 4-0 going into the game and we were to lose, it'd just be a 1.5 game back. So I'm going to call it a must win if we want that number 1 seed, because we have home field advantage. We have won the last 10 home games in a row. That is the longest active streak in the NFL by any team. Last loss at home was week 1 last season against Tampa. So if we can play to our potential, as we can see what our potential is, and get that 1 seed, and the NFC goes through AT&T Stadium, they're going to have trouble. We're going to be a tough out. I am so glad that we did not release Jordan Lewis just to save a measly $2 million. Because with Diggs going down, I think Bland can replace him. Not as good, but pretty good. As good as you could ask for. I think Deron Bland is better than Patrick Surtain Jr., AJ Terrell. Already in his 2nd year. I believe that. Deron Bland is a gem we got out of Fresno State in the 5th round. He's going to get a chance to prove it against San Fran, being cornerback 2. He's going to be one-on-one against Ayuk or Samuel when they play man. Can he cover Debo or Ayuk? I believe he can. And Gilmore, he's going to do what Gilmore does. We're going to stop the run, though. You know, McCaffrey up the middle. The other running back they have, they like to run Debo. Jaron Kearse, I've been underwhelmed with this season. He's supposed to be the tight end eraser. We're going to need somebody to take George Kittle out of the game. Whether that's Donovan Wilson or Jaron Kearse, we will see. We'll see. Dan Quinn will cook something up. On first down, I don't think Micah should be on the line of scrimmage. I think he should be at linebacker. First down's a running down. Have Dorrance Armstrong at the other defensive end spot, so Micah Parsons can track down the ball carrier, because they run right at Micah whenever a team's trying to run. Today we held New England to it was 46 rushing yards in the 4th quarter. Welcome home, Zeke Elliott. Elliott, why, just for a couple more $1 million, why go to the Patriots, to a team that's not going to make the playoffs? You have made the 2nd most money than any running back in NFL history. It's time to go win that championship now. Why didn't you just come to us and say, hey, I'll play for $2 million and can have $2 million in incentives if I reach them? Because we could really use Zeke this season. I mean, Zeke, Pollard, and Deuce Vaughn would be a hell of a trio in the backfield. And Zeke is very good for us in the red zone. He had 12 touchdowns last season, all in the red zone. Maybe Hunter Lupicki can be that role now, 40 ounce. We'll see. But cross your fingers that we have no injuries. No injuries. This week, Mike McCarthy should run a light practice. Because we don't need no motivation. Come Sunday night, these players are going to come out fire-breathing dragons. Have a light practice. Nothing heavy, nothing to where a player can just, go down for no reason, or, no one-on-one drills, nothing like that. And do everything we can to get Tyron Smith able to play Sunday night, so we can finally have our starting 5 play for the first time in over a year and a half. Man, that will be a good starting 5 we have not seen since the playoff loss of 21. And we've got more motivation to beat San Fran than anybody else. Micah Parsons, like I said, will lead the charge, and Micah Parsons is going to be gunning for a a shutout. I guarantee you. He's going to, the word that he said, if they can't score, they can't win, he's going to be gunning for a shutout. Now, I think that's nearly impossible with that offense. But if our defense is on their P's and Q's, we shall see. And if our offense can be consistent and moving the football up and down the field, chewing up the clock, and getting 7s instead of 3s, we'll be in good shape. And if Cavante Turpin can take one to the house on the punt return, I wouldn't mind that. Don't forget special teams, third phase of the game. We saw that today with Chauncey Golston getting a 2-point conversion, pass from Brian Anger. Oh man, I bet you the line will be San Fran -3 at home. And you usually get 3 points for being at home anyway, so that's like almost a push. So basically my knee-jerk reaction for the game is this team is for real. We had a hiccup last week. Every team has 1 or 2 during the season, but every win that we've had has been dominating. And the Patriots are better than the Giants and the Jets. They're not a bad team. And that defense was a number 6 ranked overall defense. And our offense was able to move the ball with impunity. And we're able to do that against the Jets also. So I believe against the 49ers, our offense will be just as good. That's it for tonight, guys. It's been a long weekend moving and whatnot. Hell of a win, 38-3. Man, 41 points allowed in 4 games. That is beautiful. 41 points allowed in 4 games, plus 3 defensive touchdowns. So basically, that's 41 points we allowed, scored 21. So that's 20 points. 20 points our defense has really let up, if you want to do the math like that, in 4 games. I'm glad we signed Dante Fowler to another 1-year deal because he is a good pass rusher. He got that defensive takeaways going when he chased down Mac Jones from behind, knocked that ball out right into the Wolf Hunter's hands. Our linebackers look good today too. Leighton Vander Esch and Damone Clark were in the holes, stopping Zeke Elliott and Stevenson whenever they try to run the ball. And the Patriots, I didn't know they had Mike Gesicki. That tight end can ball. Him and Hunter Henry, Devontae Parker, who was a star receiver for Miami a few years ago, Kendrick Bourne. They have weapons that can move the ball. Hell of a win, Cowboy Nation. Still be excited because Deron Bland will fill in where Diggs is out, and our secondary, as we move along through the season, should get back to where it was to be able to play man coverage. Jordan Lewis is a very seasoned slot veteran cornerback that we can trust. And Eric Scott Jr. is going to get better. Eric Igbenabi that we traded for, change of scenery, could be nice for him. And being that we're 5 safeties deep, I'd like to see them just take Izzy Akwamu and make him a full-time cornerback and see how well he can play. Maybe he can play the slot better than Jordan Lewis. If Izzy can play the slot better than Jordan Lewis, especially man coverage, wow, that would be super good. And I mean, Jordan Lewis is nothing to sneeze at. But if Izzy can play better than him, then we'll have still a very good trio of cornerbacks. With Jordan Lewis, cornerback number 4 again, as he was coming into the season. That's it for this episode, guys. We just want to see Dak run the ball more inside the red zone, inside the 10 especially inside the 5, crying out loud. RPOs, quarterback draws, get his big butt in the end zone. Please subscribe, like, and share, guys. I cannot iterate that enough. I cannot reach where I want to reach without y'all's help, Cowboy Nation. My first game was Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo in the Georgia Dome when I was 6 years old, back in that would have been February 94, the season in 93. That was my first Cowboy game. Ever since then, I've bled blue and silver. Don't know why. Don't know what happened that night. But it did. In every game, I live and die with every game. So this week is going to be a great week. Victory Monday. Can't wait to hear what people have to say. Keep God first and foremost. He goes before everything, even this. Seek Him in His righteousness. Everything else in your life will fall into place. I am a living testimony of that. Please subscribe, like, and share, guys. Please. My Cash App, which is $ lowercase e, lowercase m, 65466, Charles Martinez. Please donate, help grow the channel. I'm not to where I can monetize it yet, so we can get a head start on that. Get a mic, get a studio. In my new house I just moved into, I have a room that can be my studio. And so I can get microphone, studio equipment, sound bites, a whole setup, and get real legit and get that call in line for live shows. So help me get to where I need to get to, guys. I'll bring you first class content every show. Nothing shabby, guys. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the win. I'll catch y'all tomorrow or Tuesday to break down more of the Pats win and what we need to do at the Bay Area Sunday night, week 5, which will be all eyes. It's going to be a heavyweight boxing championship match. It's going to be blow for blow, toe to toe. Here we go. Y'all have a good one, guys. Charles and George is out.